Werewolves and Bigfoot are real, only considered a myth by those who are too scared to engage in the history and mystery that these cryptid creatures have left in many cultures around the world. Only one team has the grit, the knowledge and the fortitude to go after these savage beasts. As one cohesive unit, NCI, North Carolina investigates.
And good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in on the North Carolina Investigates podcast. Tonight we have a special guest with us. His name is Mr. Bruce Brown. He's from Middle Tennessee. He's a retired law enforcement and a cryptozoologist and a Bigfoot researcher. Tonight he's going to tell about his encounters, and we're going to talk a little about him, find out what he's found and the knowledge that he's brought with him. I'm going to bring the rest of the guys in. I'm going to bring Mr. Brown in here in just a short. And for those who loves to read, we have absolutely got to go to Amazon.com and get Mr. George Lunsford's books.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Well, we got to bring in the rest of the tribe. We've got we got a red-headed stepchild running around here somewhere.
We got a rebel from the South Mountains.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. I don't care. Get the CIA, get the FBI, get all that bunch. Yeah, I've worked on that cockeyed file on that audio card for a week now. Get somebody on it and get it fixed. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying to take care of a little business.
There you go. And from the South Mountains, we got the one and only Kaiser Rebel.
Hey, guys. Good to see you, everybody.
Good to see you too, brother.
Well, guys, I've got us a pretty good guest, and I think he's going to have some real good information and some good experiences to bestow upon us. We've got a Mr. Bruce Brown back here in the green room. Let me see if I can go fetch him. Hold on a minute. I'll go fetch him.
There he is.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good, you?
Well, we're doing pretty good. Hold on a second. We got to give him the official intro here.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried doing that, but I ain't got one good hand. I can try this.
I was clapping with my feet, so. How the heck are you, Mr. Sir Bruce?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all getting along?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Nobody listening anyway.
I'm so happy I have to sit on both hands, keep from waving at people.
There you go.
I hear you have stories.
Yeah, I've got a few.
Well, we'd love to hear them.
Well, we'll start out with one of my first encounters when I was 8 years old.
All right.
I was at my grandparents' house trying to get out in the back hayfield, trying to get a kite in there. Wasn't having any luck. I noticed, now keep in mind, I was 8 years old. I noticed three, what I thought was apes, come out watching me. And after several attempts and couldn't get my kite in there, I went back in the house, told my grandmother, can't get my kite in there. She said, well, you ain't got no tail on it. So she took an old bed sheet, cut me up 3 sections of tail and tied it onto my kite. I was telling her about the 3 apes out in the field watching me, 3 gorillas. She said, honey, we don't have that here in Tennessee. And I said, well, I watched Wild Kingdom, and that's what they were. And I didn't argue with her about it. She just insisted, no, we don't have that here. So I took the kite back out, and after a couple attempts, I managed to get it in the air. Well, these things had gone in when I went in the house the first time. Second time I come out, they come out and they reappeared out from a creek bottom and walked back into the field. And they were watching my kite as I got it in the air. And they stayed there a few minutes while I was flying my kite. And of course, when I come to the end of my string, I started bringing it back down. And they were curious about that, just watching it.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was my first encounter.
Mhm.
My second encounter, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. The following week, my grandmother took me to my great-grandmother and grandfather's house. And evidently, my grandmother had told my grandmother what I'd seen. And my great-grandmother's Cherokee Indian. And she said, what you seen was a hairy man. We don't have apes in Tennessee. And so she sat me down there and told me the little story of how her grandparents and great-grandparents talked about dealing with these hairy men. And one story she told me is they had a hunting group, went out and killed a deer, 2 or 3 deer, matter of fact, and elk, and brought it back into the camp, hung it up on poles, and they always kept the 1 or 2 people in the tribe or in the group that watched the meat, because that's what they lived on. That's how they got through. So sometime that night, something slipped in and killed a couple of men there and took the meat. Well, the next morning, they sent out a tracking party and were able to catch up with it 3 or 4 miles away. And they got into a battle with these things and lost another 2 men, but they were able to kill some of them and retrieve their meat back.
Wow.
That's amazing.
She explained to me what I was seeing was a hairy man, and that not to be afraid, but at the same time pay attention. So my third encounter, my second encounter, I was down on backwaters of Lake Cumberland, or Cumberland River. And we was fishing, me and my family was fishing, and we were catching bluegills back in the backwater. A few mudcats here and there. And I've seen 3 walk out across the bottom out of some cattails down close. I could see them perfect. My parents were on down 100 yards or so. And after watching these things a few minutes, I was sitting there catching fish, bluegill. Then I realized, bluegill slowed up, so I need to change place. So I walked around the backwater to the backside where they had been. They had left and went back into the cattails and a big set of woods behind it. So I walked down there, a lot of mud, and I was sitting there fishing. And keep in mind, I was 12 years old. And a small one walked out, again, not believing the hairy man theory. And I believe they were apes. I watched The Wild Kingdom on my daddy. They said they were apes. So I noticed every time I'd catch a bluegill, pitch it down on the ground beside of me, this little one was watching me. He come down within 20, 25 yards from me. And I thought what my grandmother said, if you take something from the land, my great-grandmother, leave something back to the land. And I caught another bluegill, and this thing was looking at the bluegill. When I unhooked it off the hook and threw it on the ground, it watched it again. So I thought, just out of curiosity, I reached down and picked one up and underhandedly threw it towards it, which 12 years old is probably a good 20 or 25 foot throw, underhanded. And he wasn't much bigger than me. He walks down, bends down, and picks up the bluegill and turns around and walks back into the cattails, and I hadn't seen him since.
He appreciated it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I later learned was a clan Bigfoot, so they were friendly. Then I had several more encounters. And then when I got up to a young man, the school superintendent of Putnam County at that time, Putnam County, Tennessee, had a bus driver that was coming in and explaining to the principal at the school that they had a bear crossing a road with a cub at about 6:20 to 6:30 every morning. At that time, there weren't any bears in this part of the country. They were killed out in the early 1900s. So the superintendent gets a hold of me and asks me, because I'm very familiar with him. I hunt on his land, helped him with his tobacco crops and stuff like that, and done trapping up and down a creek that runs through his property. He asked me to go talk to the bus driver. And I know the bus driver, so I went to the bus driver's house and talked to him. And he said, Bruce, yeah, about every 20 minutes after 6 to 6:30, this bear walks across the road with her cub. And he told me exactly what place it was. So I got with a landowner, which was another man I knowed. He had had a couple cattle killed there, and he had moved his cows down to a farm closer to mine, off of this particular farm. And so he was also a park ranger. He worked for Edgar Evans State Park. And I said, well, I'll go up there and call tonight. And I used what they call the old style Johnny Walker backpacks with a big PA speaker mounted on it. I said, I'll go up there that night. And he was like, well, I want to go with you. And I said, yeah, sure. So his brother-in-law worked for Ford Motor Company, and he had a brand new Ford truck. And his nephew wanted to go. Check this out. See, there's no bears in this country, so they're interested to see a bear. So they volunteer the new Ford four-wheel drive truck. So we go up to this property. Well, the landowner, who's a park ranger, has already moved his cattle a couple weeks before that. We looked at his cattle, and there's no marks to indicate a bear attack. Just small varmints, coyote stuff, The guts has been eaten out of it. The eyeballs is eaten out. Of course, birds will do that. Birds will eat the tongues out of them, eat the inside of the gums, the lips off of them. So we get together that night, and we pull into the barnyard, and to the upper side of the barn, we back in, and we started using a jackrabbit call off of my collar. And then I had a spotlight. I had run it around to the driver's window, and the young boy that went with us, his job was to keep that spotlight plugged into the cigarette lighter, because when you're moving around the back of the truck, it's easy to pull that cord out of the cigarette lighter.
Oh, yeah.
So we started the dying rabbit squeal. And we started getting a little motion there behind the barn in the field. and nudged him to cut the spotlight on. He cut the spotlight on, and we had a coyote in front of us. So I raised up to take a shot on the coyote, and we heard just tremendous yell, and then trees were breaking and stuff. So I said, let's hold up a minute, see what this is, because this could be what they're calling a bear. Well, this thing steps out in the field. It's clearly not a bear. It's a giant, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, hairy man. And he takes off running towards us. Now, keep in mind, on this new truck, we had laid a quilt on the top of the cab of it. Me and the park ranger were standing in the back in the bed. So it takes off running towards us. We reach and we have a couple 22 rifles, a 30-06, 243, and a double barrel shotgun with double-aught buck. So we get our high-powered rifles. We're looking through the scope, and we're fixing to take this shot because by this time, this thing he's coming at us. There's no way that we're going to stop him other than shoot him. Well, he gets about maybe 15 to 20 yards from the truck, and he stops and he lets out this god-awful scream, and it goes through our body and it shocks us. We can't pull the triggers on the gun. Well, the young man driving that was sitting in the front seat operating, making sure we didn't pull the spotlight cord out, starts the truck up and takes off. And we come through the barnyard lot, and it's muddy, deep mud where the cattle had been there previously. We hit the road, make a left. We head back towards his home. And by then, it's already, when he took off, he threw me and the park ranger, Mr. Shanks, down against the tailgate. I was actually going over the tailgate when Mr. Shanks caught me and pulled me back in. So we're going down the road after we make this left-hand turn, and this thing is running us. And he's catching up with us. But this young boy in this new truck, he's getting faster and faster. We're on the gravel road. We go around a curve, and this hairy man is still 20 to 25 yards, but he seems to be gaining on us. So the young man driving, he gets faster and faster, and we get up to probably 35, 45 miles an hour. And then the hairy man starts fading out. So we get to this young man's house. And of course, his daddy's the one that loaned us the new four-wheel drive truck.
Oh.
Yeah. So we get in, we pull up in the driveway. The daddy comes out. He says, we're telling him what's going on. The son has bailed out of the truck with the truck running and run in the house.
Oh, Lord.
It scared him bad. Well, as we were sitting there telling this guy what happened, the mother comes out screaming. There's something wrong with her son. So we all run in the house, and he's in shock. He can't talk. He's sitting there shaking. He's stuttering. Can't understand a word he's saying. So we get him calmed down, and she makes us all some hot chocolate. So we're sitting there and talking. We get this boy calmed down to an extent we can understand what he's saying. Well, he had seen it through back then the trucks had really big rear view mirrors on the outside. Mm-hmm. He had seen it through that rear view mirror, and it had just terrified him. And then he run in the house because he believed that it was going to come to the house. So he was scared it was going to come to their house. So after we got him calmed down, I looked at the landowner and I told him, I said, we got to go back up there because we're missing some guns. I mean, they fell off the cab of the truck. We had laid a quilt up there, and he took off so fast we lost some guns. And so we went out there and looked in the bed of the truck, and we picked up part of our guns, but we're still missing 2. And I said, if they're in the road up there, somebody will run them over or whatever. We got to go back. And this park ranger says, I'm not going back. I said, it's your farm. He said, it's your farm. We got to go back. I mean, don't let this thing run you off. I said, we can take it down if it's still up there. So we talked there until about 7:30 in the morning. It was good daylight, so we go up there, and we find one of the guns has got a busted stock. One of them doesn't seem to be hurt other than scratched up. The stock was scratched up pretty good. And so we walk around the barn lot there. He's got a 30-06. I've got the 243. And we both have pistols strapped on. And we found these massive tracks. I mean, massive bare foot tracks of a big human track. So at that time, I was wearing a 9.5 or 10-foot boot. I set my boot sideways in the track, and it still had a 1/2 inch on the width. That's how much bigger it was than my boot. And then when I put my boot long ways to the heel, and then put my heel in front of my toe on my boot, it's still like another 1.5 inches. Not big, it was long. So we're talking about 21 inches, somewhere in there. And
wow.
The big boy.
Big boy.
He had to run probably around 9 feet.
Right. He was huge. At the back of the truck, when we come around the curve, we had the old-timey coon hunter lights that hooked to your belt, the battery, and then the light mounted to your head. And when he come around that curve, we could tell his hair was braided. We assumed it was braided. It could have been matted. He was a giant. He had the conical head. The roars were so deep it sounds like a bull bellowing, 2,000-pound bull bellowing, but the intensity of it would just shock you and lock your muscles and stuff up. But we, like I said, retrieved our guns. We got back in the vehicle, and as we come out of the gate going down the road, we could see its footprints in this partially dirt gravel road where it had run us probably 2/3 to these people's house that we had borrowed that truck. So, like I said, it terrified the son went into shock. The park ranger, that was enough for him. So
So the boy recovered from the shock pretty quick, or did it take a day or two?
Do what?
Did it take a day or two for the boy that got shot? Was in shock. Did it take him a day or two to get out of it?
No, he wouldn't come out of the house for 6 months. Almost 6 months. He'd never seen anything like this.
Man.
And so I, a couple of days later, decided to go have me a talk with this bus driver. Something just didn't add up. So I went and I talked to the bus driver. And I told him, I said, you actually, without a doubt in your mind, seen a bear. He looked at me and he said, no, Bruce, he said, it wasn't a bear. But how am I going to tell the people at school? Because the kids on the bus seen it too. So I wasn't going to say, no, it wasn't a bear. It was some type of a creature. And so he owned up to that. And I said, well, did the smaller one walk across the road? And he said, no, it was on 4s. I said, how did the big one do it? The big one walked across the road on his hind legs. So he said, I'm a bus driver here, real well respected. manning the community. There's no way I was going to come out and say this is a hairy man or whatever it was. It was a creature.
Yeah.
But 30-something kids seen it several different times, and they made it to be a bear because that's to them that's what their minds could wrap around. So
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
a wild. That's a heck of a sighting.
yes, and that's we unintentionally provoked it. We went up there basically looking for a bear, maybe kill a coyote or two. Back then, bear brought me good money. Of course,
Oh,
we
yeah.
couldn't have shot. We couldn't have shot the bear because it wasn't common in that area, so there weren't a bear season. So we would have been in trouble if we'd have shot a bear. Our intent was to scare it off and take us some coyotes and maybe a fox hide or two.
Yeah.
But after that, our park ranger, there was no change in his mind. But Bigfoot killed these cows, but there weren't any sign of that. It was just, I don't know if the cows died of natural death or whatever the reasons were. They were just eaten on by small animals. Most of us farmers know that possums will eat the rear end out of a cow and crawl up in it. I don't know how many times you can walk up, kick the side of a dead cow, and 2 or 3 possums will run out of its rear end.
Yep.
So.
Now, what did that park ranger think about all this? I mean, did he try to tell the rest of the park rangers what he had seen or anything, or did he basically just clam up and not say nothing?
No, he wouldn't talk about it. No, he wouldn't talk about it. If he did, he never told me.
Did he stay a park ranger, or did he get out of it?
He stayed a park ranger and then retired. Not long after that, 2 or 3 years and retired. He had quite a bit of time in.
Oh, okay. When was this? Was it like the 70s or 60s or what?
No, this was in the 79, 80, 81.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not really that long ago then.
No. And then I had went back across the mountain to another road called the Mill Pond Road a year or so later, and had been back in there the broad daylight ginseng hunting, and I had come across a clan of Bigfoot, actually 5 of them, and they didn't pay me any attention. They come down to within a good 25, 30 yards from me, but it was a female leading the pack, and the female controls the pack. Now, the one that we dealt with that run the truck was a rogue Bigfoot.
I had he was gone back anyway, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I had gone back a couple of weeks later to this property right after this incident. When I went in the woods, it had tore down trees as big as your leg, popped them, and twisted them. And coming down off of that, what we call slate rock mountainside with all those fine pieces of slate rock and deep black dirt, you could see his massive footprints. And again, we just unknowingly called him down there and sent him into a rage. And then we thought we were going to die. Is the reason why we were going to take the shot. But when he screamed, we just got a vibration through our whole body, and our muscles just locked up. You couldn't use your finger to pull the trigger. You couldn't move. And then when the boy took off in the truck and it throwed us against the tailgate, we were able to come back to our senses.
Yeah.
So
you basically got infrasounded.
Yeah, we got infrasounded, we got zapped or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Tim's
Yeah.
bad luck for me because here lately, every time we've gone, I've been hit with infrasound when
Yeah.
I'm with Tim.
Yeah. Infrasound, that infrasound will mess with your body in strange ways.
Mhm.
You know, it
Yeah,
can give
it
you
affects
upset
everybody
stomachs,
different.
headache. Right. But from there, I started having encounters around big bodies of water, lakes and stuff. And then I got to become friendly with a clan, but the female was the leader. She would get closest to me, but she would make the big males and the others stay back. So in by dealing with him, they started migrating quite a bit. Recently we had a lot of people come into Tennessee and started buying up land and tracking these big farms up and building homes on them. And I got to be acquainted with this bunch or this clan, and they were more the really extremely friendly type.
Well, that's
And
good.
then the female, when I got down to a spring branch and sat on a rock, she actually walked up to me and sat beside a rock next to me. And then on another occasion, a couple of days later, she sat on a log next to me 4 or 5 feet away. And she only touched the back of my hand once. But they had have y'all ever heard tree frogs?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
noises they make? Yeah. That's the kind of speech they were using, communicating back and forth. You would think it would be like a big growl or deep, but they were using a higher, lower pitch, I call it, of tree frog talking.
Wow. Now, that's a
So
new one. I've never heard that before.
then I met with them again. They had migrated, and they were always able to find me. And so what I'd do is I'd go into a certain area, and I'd make a hoot owl call, whoo, whoo, whoo. And then they would answer me back if they were there. And if not, then I'd move a little bit further and kept doing that until they would answer me back. And then I'd always be approached. I'd always be approached by the female. And and a couple times she actually got what I call flirty, but she was real easy to get along with. And then she'd sat down with me one day, and I was on a spring branch sitting on a big rock, and she was sitting down just 7 or 8 feet from me. And she told me, chattering, talking to me, and she used the word help. And I didn't see anything wrong with her, or couldn't see anything wrong with the rest of the clan, and I didn't quite understand it. So I was like, I don't understand, help. And then she would try to sign language. I still didn't pick up on it. And then when she got up to leave, the rest followed her, so I followed them at a distance to a cave. We went into when I got to the entrance of the cave, it wasn't her, but another voice, a loud voice, said, no, no, no. And I assumed that for me not to go in the cave. So I left there, and when I got home and I was processing this and thinking about it, I didn't see anything wrong with her, but she knew an English word, help. Nut crops, or, it was a terrible crop season. So on my way home, I had passed a man that was selling big bags of pecans. You could either get the shelled ones or the unshelled ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I got thinking about that. Maybe they were hungry. So I turned around and got in my vehicle, drove back down to Carthage, Tennessee on Highway 25 where this man was. And I got 4 big bags of pecans. And then I drove back up there. And by the time I got to the caves, it was about a 3-hour walk. Time I got to the caves, starting to get dark. Well, when I set these down and started to walk off, from in the cave said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And this was thank you all the way till I walked back out of earshot from them. They were still saying it.
That's awesome. That is amazing.
Absolutely.
And then I've run into several different clans. I've only had that one Bigfoot rogue that tried to kill me. The rest have been really friendly encounters. Of course, you're not going to walk into the woods every day and have an encounter, but once you find a clan, then you can have daily encounters until they migrate. They migrate, then you just move until you find them again. And they know who you are. So the people talk about, well, we'll go in the woods and we've hunted these Bigfoot and we ain't never seen them. Well, that's the problem. You don't hunt them. They show themselves to you.
You're exactly right.
And I have I have ringing in the ears. Have it real bad. And I've been to the best doctors. I've been to military doctors. My daddy spent 33 and a half years in the Navy. So I'd have the best doctors. Nobody can cure tendonitis. So researching this, why am I having these encounters? And there's people spends a lot of time in the woods, and some probably spend more than me. And then studying and looking, I found what they call the monad frequency, or the monad is it's taught by Jesus. It's God. It's the Great Spirit. So when I walk into these woods and I'm having this really bad ringing of the ears, I'm able to see and communicate with these things more than more people, the average person. So it's not that they're showing themselves to me. It's that my ears are creating a frequency that they're picking up on, and they come to me. I don't know if y'all have ringing in the ears, and have noticed when you're out in the field that you hear strange things and might even see some things with that ringing in the ears because you're projecting that frequency, and they pick up on that frequency. It's like a dog whistle. You blow a dog whistle, you can't hear it, but the dog can. So that's the frequency and the ringing in the ears that doctors call tendonitis, that they can't cure. I call that a God effect. So some people are more susceptible to seeing these things than others.
And it sounds to me like they marked you from people talk about being marked, and then once you have an encounter that you're marked, and it a lot of times leads to other encounters and stuff like that. And it sounds like they marked you at a young age.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would follow you through the rest of your life.
Right. Yes, they know you. They know that one clan will know you've had an encounter with another clan. How they know that, I don't know. But yes, I believe you get marked. Again, I've had great experiences. Can't complain. I mean, it's just been a really good experience for me. Took a friend with me he wanted to get into Bigfoot research, zoologist type, and he went with me several times. It wasn't seeing them like I was, but at the same time, I knew that by having somebody new with me, it's going to take a little bit for them to get used to him before they step out.
Yeah.
Well, So we had one step out in the spring branch about 20 to 25 yards from me, and he got to see it. Well, he was big and brave until that happened, and he took off on me. He took off on me, and so I had my encounter there for probably 45 or 50 minutes with him. Might have been an hour, and I leave and get back to the truck. He's already at the truck, been at the truck, waiting on me. And so I was like, okay, we're going to go back the next day, and we're going to try to do some filming. We're going to do a movie. We're not going to take direct pictures of these things. We're just going to do us a little movie. He was like, if you do a movie, you'll be by yourself because I'll never be back in the woods again. And that ended him.
Really?
Yes, he owns a little farm. He's got a cabin built at the edge of a hay field, and next to the cabin, 20 yards, is the main road. So he hunts his deer from the window of his cabin or the vehicle in the driveway. He will not go. He'll go in the field, but he will not go into the woods, period. You can't get him in the woods.
Oh, wow. That's amazing to me. I don't understand that.
Yeah. It just terrified him. I told him, what to expect. It's not nothing you've ever seen before. No two are going to be the same. So they'll look a little different. I mean, they got arms, eyes, everything like we do, but their facial structures and stuff, they're all different personalities. And he didn't even get a chance to meet one. He seen it and he was gone. So,
that's funny. That cracks me up.
If they'd make this ringing in my ears quit, I wouldn't care if I ever saw nothing or not. I'd take to make it quit ringing. Well, after about 35 years, about 33 years of it, I'm about to give it up.
Well, if you could ever get one to mind speak you or touch you, that would help you better understand it. It does get aggravating, but you got to keep in mind you're putting out a frequency, so you're the bait. You go out with a group of people, let them use you for the bait to draw them in.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yep.
Well, if Harley was here, Harley would second, third, fourth, fifth, and 10th that idea.
I guarantee it. It's usually Harley's the bait.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm wearing my shirt. I put that orange shirt and ringing them ears. I'm a big Cheeto out there.
Yep. But normally you won't get into anything bad. Like I said, over the years, since I was 8 years old, I've only run into one bad one. The rest of them have been good. The rest of them have been clans. And always keep in mind that the female is the leader. They can read you. They'll read you like a book. They know your intentions, good intentions, bad intentions. They don't like cameras.
No.
The camera, I have taken pictures of really good pictures at close range, and my camera picture would be blurry, but if I move to the left of them or to the right one of them a few feet, I get perfect pictures. So they'll put out some type of energy, frequency, matter, I believe in the quantum physics part of it. I believe that once they master these things, that they are So able to distort, able to disappear in front of you. So I believe it's supernatural. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. A dog man, I'm 70% there, but not 100. I use the detective side of me. I want hard facts. I want evidence. I want to meet these things. I fell ginseng hunting in Jackson County, Tennessee, and messed a hip up. Couldn't feel my leg for over an hour.
Oh,
and
man.
I had a big male come down and tell me in a chirping voice, but I knew what he was saying, that I had to get out of there before dark. And so when my legs, feeling come back in that hip and that leg, I was able to take a forked stick that was laying there, that wasn't laying there before, and use it to put under my armpit to get out, and got out right at dark. And so since I wasn't lost, I think he thought I might have been, and he had suggested with his head in the direction that I went or needed to go, and that was the direction I already knew I needed to go to get out.
That's cool. That is, you've had some incredible encounters.
Oh yeah.
I'm jealous. I am. I've seen some so far, but nothing is. The closest one that I seen was 20 yards. I was on this hill and he was on this hill. And but like you said, there wasn't nothing. He wasn't angry about anything. He just stood up and stretched and walked away.
Right. And then I've had times where I've been in the woods, and if it's of the summertime, especially right after spring when the leaves are heavy, I'll wear a pair of binoculars, and even though you can't see 20 feet, I still adjust those binoculars to where I can look in through those leaves and bushes, because you'd be surprised how many are sitting there watching you, and you'll get their face or their eyes. And one particular instance, I walked an extremely wide deer trail that I thought was unusual because there was no deer tracks in it, but it was a worn flat. And then when I walked it out so far, I know it was time for me to turn around and head back out. It'd be dark. And of course, I carried flashlights anyway. As I was coming out to cross the creek branch, one had followed me. His tracks was on top of my tracks. So, so they're curious. They're just as curious about us as we are them.
I can believe that.
Yeah. So with my dealings with them, they're very smart. I think they're smarter than us.
That wouldn't take much if you've been to downtown Asheville.
I'll agree to that now.
If they can walk and chew chewing gum, they got 9/10 of them people beat.
Exactly.
But yeah, Dog Man's a different story now. Dog Man can shoot your nerves if you let him.
Yeah.
He's on my bucket list. I want to see that rascal.
Well, there's two different kinds, I call them. Some people will say they're 5, 6, or 7, or 8, but I go by the two kinds. You got the werewolf, then you got the Dog Man.
Yeah.
The Dog Man's more of a wilder type creature that stays in the woods. He's more of a loner. Now, I've had a couple incidents. I've called up 4 dog men at one time using a rabbit squeal late at night, but they come in aggravated at each other, mouthing off to each other, and wasn't concerned about me. They were trying to beat each other to the dying rabbit squeal. More of a wolf-like instinct, I guess. And then I had a psychic medium that belongs in our group, Daryl Denton's group. And I was in Ventures County this past Christmas Eve night after I'd done a radio show with Vic Kunda. I had left as soon as I got done doing his show. There was a farmer that was having some unusual experiences in Ventures County, Tennessee. So I went up there, and he told me where the key to the gate was and stuff, and I went in. The wind was blowing extremely hard that night. I stayed up there a couple of hours, no luck. I wasn't seeing anything. I was getting back within 20, 25 feet of my car. My phone rings, and I check it, and it's this woman, and she says, Bruce, where are you at right now? And I told her. She said, stop, don't move. Just stop there and watch. And I stopped there and watched. She said, there's a dog man that's curious about you. I said, okay. So I stood there a few minutes, didn't see anything. So I eased my keys out of my pocket, got to the vehicle, and as I stuck my key to unlock my door, which a lot of times I've never unlocked my door, that particular night I did, this thing stood up behind my car.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and he was a massive, one of the bigger, not the biggest, but one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And he was curious about me. And she saved my skin on that because generally I'm wearing thermal rubber boots. And when I get to the car, I walk around to the back of it, the vehicle, and walk around the back of it and pull my boots off and throw them over in there. Had she had not texted me and called me, I'd walk right into him.
Oh, man.
I had got in the car then, backed out through the gate, and I knew I was going to have to lock this farmer's gate back. And he told me where to hide the key. So I did that, pushed the gate up too, locked it, hid the key. The dog man got down on all fours and just took off running, and he run like a horse galloping, and he just went on out of sight.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I've run into some strange ones. I've had what I call laser eyes following me out of the woods. I encountered.
Okay, tell me about that one now. Something called laser eyes. I'm curious.
Okay, laser eyes was a dog man that I had been following a deer trail going parallel to an extremely large mountain range. And as I was coming around, there was a bluff, very high bluff. Well, this huge dog man standing on our four legs on top of this bluff watching me. He's got red eyes. This is daytime. He's glowing red eyes.
Oh, wow.
So he jumps off of that. I step behind a giant poplar tree. When you get down lower, where there's more moisture, you have these big poplar trees. So I got in behind the poplar tree watching him. He circled me wide, and his eyes went from red to an amber gold. So I eased back around. I went parallel to the mountain. I went across two different points and went up a holler to the left, sat down on this big rock. I'm sitting on this rock, and I know I'm hidden. I'm figuring, well, I'm far enough away, I ain't got anything to worry about. While I'm sitting there resting, here I see him coming. He's coming down the creek bed. I can see the creek bed at a long distance from me. I was halfway, 2/3 way up the mountain. And he just stops, stands up on two legs and turns and looks directly at me. I said, well, it's time for me to move. So I moved. I got up off the rock and started to go behind another tree, and he let out this terrible scream. And so I got behind a big red oak and was peeping around it, and my heart was beating. It was climbing this mountain, my heart was beating. I could hear it in my ears. So, well, I'm going to make the decision. I'm going straight up this mountain. There's an old logging road that's grown up. We'll get on that logging road and I'll cut around and to another fence at the top of the mountain. It's in a hayfield. My vehicle is parked at the other end of this hayfield. So when I completely come out from the tree, it let out this weird, deep, guttural scream at the same time, and it zapped me.
Oh.
I couldn't move. I got sick. I got lightheaded. I couldn't breathe. It felt like my throat was closing, like an allergic reaction. So I had looked him in the eye when I'd come out, and that's how he done me. So I made a beeline to the straight of the mountain top. I hit this logging road, followed around to another mountain, went straight up that mountain to a fence. There was a fence, a woven wire fence about 4 foot high with 2 strands of barbed wire on it. So when I got over that was a well-worn trail because 4-wheelers and side-by-sides were using it. And I knew my car was at the other end once I come out in the hayfield. But I also knew there was an old house growed up in some saplings there. So I'm easing up this road and I'm watching behind me. Well, this thing comes up to the fence and just steps across the fence like me and you would step across a toy car in the floor. This is a massive creature. So I get into this old house. It has no windows or doors on it. And I back myself up in the corner and I'm wearing forestry pants and I just got a double zipper. I reach down and I unzip it and I get to my second pocket and unzip it and I pull my pistol out. Well, I'm in there for 30 minutes or longer. Nothing. I don't see him. I don't hear him. He hasn't come across where I could see him. I was like, okay, I'm good to go. So I ease out and go around the corner of the house and get back on this road. And as I'm walking this road in the sapling briar thicket, I can hear this walking. So I look over and it's laser eyes. He's got 2 eyes that's pointing lasers at me, so I wouldn't look him in the face, but I could see the 2 lasers on my clothes. So then I ease on out from there when I get almost to my vehicle. Now, he stays to the right of me and shadows me, and he stays at every pace I make. All I have to do is look to the right, down at his chest and waist and not of his eyes. He's there, and he's not being quiet about it. So I make it to my car. I get in my car, and this time I had one to follow me home once. This time when I come out, he had jumped on my car, and he had slobbered my windshield up pretty good, and the lasers were pointing in there, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to cut the windshield wiper blades on, and when that happens, you contaminate your evidence.
Yeah.
So I made a left out of there, went into the state of Kentucky, stopped at the first convenience store, went in, had me a drink, hung out there for about 30 minutes, and I took, like it was 17 different roads home. I stopped in a place called Tompkinsville, Kentucky, Gamel, Kentucky, Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee, and then made my way to the house. And I named him Laser Eyes. So
I guess so. He definitely lived up to it. It sounds like it.
Yeah, he had one on his. If you're looking at his face, the right side, the whole one side of him wasn't black; it was buckskin color. So he was made up of. Yes, he was a 2-tone. And then
wow,
it was just a extremely ordinary dog man. And then I got to this past August, I had went to check on a Bigfoot clan, and I was coming up a spring branch, and then I noticed some odd prints along the bank, and there's a huge rock, massive rock, and it's right in the middle of the spring branch. It sticks up. It's probably 12 or 14 foot tall, and probably that long. And it had come. This dog man had come out around that, but he was hairless. He didn't have a bit of hair on him. He was just flesh. So he watched me that he cut up the hill above me to shadow me. And again, I went down the spring branch until I found a creek and followed that creek out and then made a complete circle back around and then had to sit down and rest. And then here he comes. So he lets out a scream. I let out a scream back at him. And that was pretty much the end of that encounter. He left and I left.
I have never heard of a hairless one before. That's the first time I've heard of that. Was he manged up or something, or
no? He was hairless. Skin was perfect. He was just flesh like we were. When he come around that rock, we was extremely close. I mean, we were talking 15 to 18 feet.
Oh wow!
So we stunned each other. We shocked each other.
I'd say the scream that I would have given him would have been a Charmin scream.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mama was a hairless Mexican Chihuahua or something.
I have no idea, but I researched that.
Cats or something.
Yeah.
That amazes me because I've never heard of a hairless one. That's the first time, and you was that close to it. That's impressive.
Yes, he had a massive head on him. Of course, the body didn't look right because it was hairless, but he was musculared up. The upper portion of him was musculared up, like triceps and biceps on a man. But he had, instead of hands, he had the pads, but the toes coming off the pads looked like a man's fingers, but he had 3 to 4 inch claws that curved down.
Oh, wow.
So
this thing was a mutant, it sounds like.
Right, a freak of nature is what I called him, yeah.
Wow, where was that out now?
This is, I sent y'all a map. Do y'all have it there you can bring up?
Hold on a second.
On the Warrior's Path.
Let me see if this is it. Hold on.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. If you look at the black dots, the black lines that break up lines,
yeah,
that's the path. If you go up into Fentress County, right there at the Pickett County line, is where I encountered him, up there at the top. And then when you get down into the Sparta area, you get into the Tennessee Giants and the Pygmies.
Whoa. Now, wait. You got my attention on this too now. You got talking about giants and pygmies. Now you got my attention.
Now here's a weird question that I don't want you to, disclose and give away unless you want to specific location. But as the crow flies, how far away from you or from the LBL?
It's a pretty good distance if you look up Fentress County and then look up I think the LBL's in Cheatham, or it's around Clarksville there, Fort Campbell. It's a pretty good distance.
Oh, okay.
You're talking a couple hours away, easily.
Man, that just
Joe, that's still even 2 or 3 hours away.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It wouldn't exactly be, an extreme stretch.
They migrate. So yeah, that's within reason of an area it would roam.
Yeah, they're moving those waterways, so that ain't no big stretch at all.
Right, right. And see, on that particular hairless one was not but 4 or 5 miles from Del Hollow Lake on the north
Oh,
end of the state. Yeah. And when you get
that,
down into Sparta, you get into the Tennessee Giants and the Pygmies. The Pygmies have 100,000 of graves there. When that was settled by the pioneers, a lot of that was turned into fields, and the mounds were torn down and turned into fields to grow crops. The cave systems held
yeah,
a lot of these skeletons. There was warring going on. It's not exactly clear where the natives killed the giants or the giants killed the natives. Anyway, there's caves that has hundreds of these massive skulls and bones in them in the White County area. So,
I'd love to go visit that.
yeah,
You're not the only one. George, fire up the truck. I'm going to go get my coat.
Another investigator that investigates to the right side of those lines. Of those lines is Randy Hutchins. I think y'all might know him.
I know
I've
that
heard that name.
I have too.
Yeah. And but anyway, this Warrior's Path, Daniel Boone named it the Old Kentucky Road, but it's actually the Warrior's Path. It's been there for thousands of years. Nobody knows how old exactly it is. Now that's the black broken lines. They come all the way down, and they come out of Kentucky. Daniel Boone come across, used the Warrior's Path to go into Kentucky to build Boonesboro. And then he talks about killing a Bigfoot that was attacking his son.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that happened there in Pickett County. That happened at the Pickett County where the state line is now.
Man. That's awesome.
And now the dog man has been in this area for many, many years too, and the older people called it a line because it had that big heavy mane. Now they wouldn't, if they seen one, they wouldn't talk about it for 3 days, but on the third day they'd wait till 1 o'clock in the evening after one to tell you, because to them it was an omen. It meant death or sickness in the family.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Man.
These giants run across all up and down through there, and then they go as far as Nashville too. There's a cave picture there that I've sent y'all. It's a video. It has 2 big tracks in it. If you bring it up, I'll show you how the Sasquatch build their tombs. Back under a bluff here. That's an ancient Indian campfire site. Really, really old. Was further past the picture to the left. The one on the right is probably 19 to 21 inches. It's in that flat dirt spot. You can see it. So if you go,
play that video again, George.
No, it's okay. I good.
So we have another video next to it that shows these flat rocks.
Okay, hold on. I'll bring it up.
All right. Here's a cave next to the Indian bar pit. Goes back under there a pretty good ways. I can't see the end of it. Rocks are blackened with smoke. You can see how they're stacked here in places. Got flat rocks going into it that were put in there.
That's some good videos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed. I'm quiet now. That's amazing.
But in the, I can't think of the man's name. I don't have my paperwork with me at the moment. But he found some towards Nashville that 300 yards of them, those flat rocks right there,
Yeah.
that's what held those giants. They were 8 feet tall and taller. And then to the back of the cave, there were thousands of these bones with these skulls, these giant skulls. So
Are they still there, or they've been taken out?
Can they get access to those places? They've been covered over with concrete, the entrances.
Sounds
to protect
about right.
it, because to protect it. But there's plenty of literature. Now, part of these bones were sent to the Smithsonian. Most of them had been sent to the Smithsonian. During the Darwin come out, the scientist Darwin on the evolution of man, the Smithsonian destroyed a lot of these bones that come out of Tennessee from these Tennessee giants.
Well, they said they did. They're actually finding now that they didn't destroy it as much as they said they did. A lot of them was put back in archives away from all the other stuff, so that they wouldn't be destroyed. Some people actually moved them so they wouldn't destroy all of them.
Well, that's good, because that shows you a race of people that had heads 4 times the size of us.
Yeah, but you'll never see them though, because they're never ever going to let them be seen.
But in some of these caves, I'll go back in that one where they were making the rock casket, I call it, for a giant. I'm sure back in that cave were these rocks to cover both the head part of the tomb and the foot part of the tomb. There's probably some inside that, and I need to go in further. I don't like to go in and traipse around until I start. I haven't been in these caves. I've been to the entrance and document from the front, and I'll eventually work my way in over time. I haven't made it into them yet. If you pull that,
that's not safe.
yeah. Well, I do a lot of hunting by myself because most people get scared and run off and leave me.
Well, if I live closer, I'd go with you because I ain't scared of them. I'm the
one video up of the if you pull that one video up of the fire pit, I'll show you something else a lot of people miss in there.
I think it's the first one. No, it's the second one. That last that I just showed. Okay, hold on.
Here's a cave next to the Indian fire pit. Goes back under there a pretty good ways. I can't see the end of it. Rocks are blackened with smoke. You can see how they're stacked here in places. Got flat rocks going into it that were put in there.
That's so cool.
All right. Go back to the other video.
Okay.
Back under a bluff here. That's an ancient Indian campfire site. Really, really old. Okay, when you look at that video, zoom it in and pay attention to the sticks that are in the Y formation. The Y formation tells you it's a clan. It's a clan of Sasquatch.
Okay. Well, that's nice to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So anytime you see those sticks in Y formations, then that's what that is. That's a clan of Bigfoot.
We've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
We've seen that in East Tennessee 2 or 3 times.
Yes, we have.
Yes,
We've seen East Tennessee and our other area, a couple other areas we have.
So when you see those are the friendly ones. Those are the ones that'll sit back and watch you. After they get used to you, they'll show themselves to you.
Now, I have to ask, you're up there in Tennessee. What else have you seen besides Bigfoot or Dogman?
Seen the pygmies. I'm not too fond of them. The little people, they're mean.
I've seen the little people, unfortunately. They like to mess with my stuff.
I've seen the crawler. I'm not too fond of the crawler. I've seen the gugway. The gugway is just an inbreed of a Bigfoot with a double row of teeth that is just pissed off all the time.
That's pretty good. I like that. Where'd you see the gugway at?
The gugway will be more to the west part of Tennessee.
Okay.
You'll run in the gugway around and between the areas of land between the lakes. When they get landlocked in, they tend to interbreed, and you come up with some wild-looking Bigfoot. Yeah, one ear will be that big, and the other will be a little bitty one. You know, we'll have the hard slant, and you'll have that much 4 inches of overlap over his eyes. His teeth will stick straight out, and then he'll have a row going up.
Okay. Well, let me answer this question. They're asking what a rake is. Rake is basically the same thing as a crawler.
Right. The crawlers I run into are generally about 3.5 to 4 foot tall, slimy like a snail. They'll slime everything they come across. And I try to get away from them at a reasonable speed.
Yeah, them things are pure evil. They creep me out.
Yes.
We got a picture of one by accident. Didn't realize we had the picture until we got home.
Yes. They'll go up the side of a tree so quick that if you blink your eye, you've lost them.
So you got all kinds of fun stuff up there in Tennessee. We ain't getting over here much.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit here in Tennessee.
Have you run into the reptilians or lizard men?
No, I haven't run into them.
We our buddy Harley has seen footprints over in Tennessee in his area of the lizard men. But we're kind of leaning towards that's something from Oak Ridge.
Yes,
because they all the nuclear stuff they have over Oak Ridge and the scientific area they have over.
So he's seen most of his then around the Cumberland Plateau. Yeah, up there. Yeah, they do have some strange things when they introduce the radiation.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been up there fishing and caught a bass. It looked like a crappie, but in a bass's body.
I can believe that. I really can.
So I won't eat anything out of that lake up there.
No, they they've been storing nuclear waste there for a while. Plus, they got the most people don't know, but they have the labs area up there as well, where they do a lot of genetic and experiments and a lot of DNA sequencing and quantum stuff, all the quantum stuff over there.
Right. All right. Mm-hmm. And then they'll take part of those and turn them loose. The test tube dog men and turn them loose in the land between the lakes, and they'll collar them. Where they can retrieve them if something gets out of control.
Have you seen any with the collars on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Because they've released in lower East Tennessee as well, over in our Appalachians.
I've had one person tell me about seeing one that had a body armor on it of spikes, and then like
really?
like a super soldier, which that's why the government messed with them, was to try to make super soldiers. But I would say that one had a tracking device on it, so they knew where it was at all times.
Well, I think the thing too is they realize they can't control them.
No, they can't control them.
No,
exactly right.
And then they don't know what to do with them, so they either kill them or release them, just to see what happens.
Yeah, see what kind of I call it breeding goes on.
Yeah.
See what will come. They turn them loose and young to see what they turn out to be as an adult also.
I agree with you 100% on that now.
I picked up a dogland pup, and it had clear eyes like marbles.
Really?
Glass eyes. Yes, it was about 15 pounds. And I picked him up. He had a damage to his tail. His tail was missing. It was a bloody knob. And I don't know whether he got into an accident, got it bit off or whatever. But he had extremely large paws. And when I picked him up off this grapevine and set him in my lap trying to see what he was, I noticed when I raised his upper gums, and when his mouth closed, his bottom teeth went into pockets beside the gums.
Really?
He had these long teeth that come out outside the mouth. And then he was nothing but a ball of fur. He had no hair. It was just fur. And then when I pulled that fur out and looked in his eyes, there was no pupil, no blood vessels, nothing but just clear, like you're looking into a clear marble. So he could follow me around with my shadow while he was sitting in my lap. He wasn't playful, but when I set him down on the ground, his front legs touched from the elbow to his toes. That's how he walked. His back legs were normal.
So he sounds like he was a genetic mess up.
Yeah, genetic mess up, and I think maybe his eyes could have not been fully developed, because he could follow me while I was playing with him, and then when I set him down, I put him back up in the tree, and then he had these long claws that come out and are attached to the grapevine, and he started slowly going up the grapevine.
Whoa. So he had the extended fangs on there.
Do what?
So he had the extended canine fangs?
Yes.
Wow.
Super long to be a pup like that. I mean, he didn't weigh maybe 15 pounds at the most. Had 3 to 4 inch fangs. And that's big for a pup, and they were needle sharp. I mean, extremely sharp. But when I shut his mouth and hold his gum up, when I pushed his mouth together, those teeth fit right in that pocket. So I turned him around and looked on the other side, and it was doing the same thing.
That's amazing. That is really amazing.
It's Thousand Wonders the rest of his tribe didn't come out there and attack.
Well, I got followed out and got I got followed out there, and I got my windshield on my car broke and my driver's mirror tore off. I'm guessing the mother to it smelt me I guess she put the pup on that vine to be safe. And when I got back to my car, I sat down in the car, had kept my keys up under my towel I laid in the car seat. When I reached down to get the keys, I felt something hit my car, and then my driver's side of the car pushed down. I stuck the key in the ignition looking up, and it was a dog man. Gigantic paws. It was so massive, front paw was on my front windshield, and the other paw was on my driver's side, and it was pushing down. My window started cracking. My front windshield started cracking, and it got into about a 2-foot crack. I decided I better put it in reverse and get out of there before he pushed the whole window in on me.
I don't know if I'd have waited that long.
No, me neither. I probably.
Well, keep in mind,
He
I
might
had.
have wound up with a blazing case of lead poisoning before I left.
Well, keep in mind, I had my pistol laying in the front seat in plain view. When I got to the car, I had pulled it out and laid it in the passenger seat. And believe me, I had reached to get it, but as I was backing up, I had to back up to turn around. He jumped on top of the car. And then when I come out of the hayfield onto a red clay / creek gravel rope, I was able to sling him off. But he was a pretty good sized animal too. That was a mammal, you know.
You ain't a
That
kid.
was flesh and blood.
Dang.
Lord mercy. Yeah, I think I'd have probably got a little bit more excited than you did. You a really calm guy. Yeah.
Well, it pays to be, it pays to be.
That's good. I honestly believe I'd have probably melted the barrel on that 357 Magnum.
Yeah, that judge of mine would have been doing some talking about like Doc Holliday. I got 2
Right.
guns, one for each of you.
That or I'd have made a heck of a mess. He'd be going, whoo.
Yeah.
Because that's an encounter. That would be a scary encounter. I got to give you credit on that, brother. I really do.
I've got I take my grandson's dog with me every now and then. His name is Ghost. He's a very well behaved dog. I take him sometimes, not all the times, because if something happens to him, my grandkid will never forgive me. He thinks more of the dog than he does me.
Actually, little grandkids do.
Yep. So, but he's a very good dog. Listens good. He'll give me indications if something's not right. He's not afraid of Bigfoot. I mean, he just plays up and down the creek while they're standing in the creek.
Yeah. So that's cool.
He's very well mannered. He'll do whatever you say. Now, if I say hunt him up, he would hunt one up. But he's a good-natured old dog.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, any of you fellas got questions for this gentleman?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Brother, I'll tell you what, that's fascinating stuff. And have you written a book by chance? Have you got a book that you wrote?
Not yet. No, I haven't written any books yet.
Well, you write one, and I'll guarantee I'm gonna buy it.
All righty, I appreciate it.
I was gonna ask you about here where I live. Somebody smarter than me figured out that we've got right here in my general area, exactly, like right here where I live. We had to have a clan north of us and a clan south and southwest of us.
Okay.
The clan that lives to the north tends to come and go with much more frequency. We might go a couple months without hearing any vocalizations or anything from over yonder up north of us, but the activity to the south and southwest of us stays pretty well. It's at a high level all year, especially in the winter. it never really dies off, other than to say with the seasons, when it gets hotter, things slow down. So why would that clan just north of me, do you think, would come and go so much more frequently, and the clan to the south and southwest of us kind of be more static and not move like that?
The clan from the north of you is moving with a food source coming down. So they'll come from the north to the south. The one in the south has found the food sources and have developed a more ritual type, of the meaning migration type like the Indians did. Now, the ones up north that come down tend to be somewhat more aggressive towards the clans in the south. They're just hunting more food. Sometimes your northern clans will be a lot bigger, Bigfoot, than your southern clans.
The guys, the clan that lives just to the south of me, they also have access to something that this clan that lives, just north of me don't. The southern clan here has access to the Broad River, which I would get a lot of food, especially in the form of fish. This clan that lives, they make their presence known a quarter mile north of us, sometimes even closer. But they've got access just to a couple of creeks, not a river. You think that's got something to do with it?
Oh yeah, definitely. The food source has everything. When you get down on the river in places, you can get into mussels, so many other different things that they do eat. The clan up north is going to rely mostly on nut crops. If you have bad years, then they're going to move to the south. They're going to come down, and they're more vocal. They're testing the territories out. They don't want to run into a rogue Bigfoot no more than we do. And so your food source is definitely, your water source is a have to. But they tend to stay away from agricultural crops here lately, because a lot of the corn now that's grown, I have watched over the last 2 or 3 years that they quit picking this corn, and out of curiosity, I asked questions at co-op and places about it, why some animals are not eating this corn, and they said, well, this corn is heavily sprayed and it's for ethanol, to make gas only. It's not eatable. So you don't have them going into cornfields anymore. So places that you have good forest, thousands of acres, they don't have a good nut crop, they'll move south. They migrate.
It's a civil war all over again.
Yep.
Well, Tim, you got any questions?
I just want to know when I'm going fishing.
I don't know, but between his fishing stories, Bigfoot stories, I'm ready to go to Tennessee.
There you go. Yep. We got some good walleye, sauger, crappie, big cats. If you get down on the river, you might even get a Bigfoot encounter in.
Well, if he tries to
sounds good to
me. I don't give my fish up easy.
Right. My great grandmother told me, if you catch 10 fish, leave 5, cut you a fork and a stick, feed it through the gill, and hang it up in the tree if you see any Bigfoot around. Harrymen, she called them.
There you
and
go.
Just leave it up in the tree, and that's an offering, a peace offering. They won't never bother you.
Now, I don't mind sharing a little bit now. I can do that.
Yep. But yeah, Tennessee's where it's at right now with all these people moving in, breaking up these massive farms. Yeah, definitely a hot spot. And like I said, I stick to the warrior's path. That goes back for thousands of years. And these cryptids, Bigfoot, so on.
So they know the path well then.
Yes, they know native language. They do know some English, and they're great mimickers of animals in the woods.
Yeah, we've noticed that big time. Rob, you got something to ask?
Well, if you need anybody to go with you, you know exactly who to call.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
If
Sure
we're
will.
ever up there and you need us, all you got to do is give us a yeah. We'll show up with you.
All right, I appreciate that, because right now I don't have a hunting partner. I've scared them all to death. So
We're all too hard headed for that, especially Tim.
yeah.
Hey, one of our listeners, Nancy, asked, what happened? She's one of witnesses from here where I live in this area, and she had one come into her backyard and left her a giant pile of scat, and she was wondering why they would just stroll into her backyard like that and take.
Well, she has done something, whether she's thrown something out or does she have a big dog or anything that might have been harassing it? There's several things that can cause that, but generally, if she's got a trash pile, burn barrel, or something, they don't like that. So they'll come in and take a big dump, and that's not unusual.
Okay.
Something,
Very interesting.
Well, Ed's got a question for you there, Bruce. It's He says, have you had any other paranormal activity along with your sightings?
And paranormal, yes. The law enforcement officer had paranormal encounters in cemeteries, in homes. So yes, I've had quite a bit of paranormal encounter.
Did you have any related to your Bigfoot or Dogman sightings?
No, my Bigfoot's been mostly just straight up mammal type.
Okay.
Dogman, other than the laser eyes, I'm not for sure that's even paranormal. I'm 70% leaning that way, but I need a little bit more study, because through frequencies and matter and energy, things like this can happen, and it not be supernatural.
That's true. That's very true. You are exactly right. And Nancy said that no dog or trash.
No dog or trash. Okay. Tell her to one time only to gift them something such as nuts, whether it be acorns. I prefer pecans, something they're not used to. It's a treat for them. I try it one time, and then go outside and talk to them. Talk in a normal voice. You know they're there. Just talk normally. They get used to you, they'll back away.
There you go. Well, I got a weird thing here popped up that Big Henry said that the ones found in New England were 4 pounds per poop. That's a lot of poo.
Well, for the size of the creatures, not really. That's probably she probably needs to feed them something. That's a little on the light side.
I wish Boom Boom was here, because then we could say, yeah, that bunch up north's full of crap.
Yeah, there you go.
Here to say.
We can't pick on him since he ain't here, though. We ain't got a way to fight for it.
But
He ain't here to defend himself, poor old boy.
Somebody's asking, what agency did you work for?
I worked for city, local, and federal.
Okay.
Deputy, patrolman, chief of narcotics.
Nancy said she has 2 pecan trees. So.
Oh, that's great. Tell her if she can harvest them before the squirrels get them. Try to do that, and the squirrels will get. I have 2 pecan trees on my property. They're not native. We planted them there 40 years ago, but I haven't got one off of it yet because the squirrels keep getting them on me, or they get right.
Man, I tell you what, I'd love to see those caves up there and find some of those skulls.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That
would
would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, we can set it up and we can go into a couple and see what we can find.
Awesome.
We
That's
may
no
have to see
problem.
if we can't plan a trip up there to visit you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
I've
you
got an
got
idea, George.
do what?
I've got an idea.
What is your idea?
I think we need to figure out and get all the components and put it together and build us a LiDAR system. Then that way we won't disturb anything. We can sit right there and watch it on screen while it's still laying natural under the ground and figure out a way to take a picture of it just like you would on a thermal camera.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good idea.
that might work. We might have to give that a shot.
Yep. Yep. I'd love to have one of them $35,000 drones where a man can set up and pull up in a hayfield at some of these places and go down in them, let it fly over these hollers and into these caves and see what I can.
Well, see, this is when I need one of them remote control dogs.
There you
Them
go.
caves
Yeah.
would be perfect for that because you can put that camera on there, and you can buy them now for about the smaller ones. You can buy them for like $60-$70, and you can put a camera on back of them that does a 360 degree, and you can send that in them caves with a light on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without ever had to put yourself in a bad situation.
Well, or we could just get brave and just go in there and see.
That too.
You know,
I ain't real crazy about going into caves, but I'll go so far.
Yeah, I don't like going into them because I don't want to disturb the ground. But if we watch what we do and go in just so far, a little bit at a time, and historically map it, and just keep moving a little bit at a time, we can get into some really good things. That one I showed you, that Indian fire pit, it's got two really nice prints there, and it's got the Ys there. Of course, every time I've come across those Y markings, it's always been a clan, and it's always been a peaceful clan that's not going to attack you.
Well, that's good to know because, like I said, we've seen the Y a few times, and that's really interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one good thing about these guys. No matter where we go, we always get each other's back. So that's always a good thing. That's why I worry about you saying you're going these things by yourself. You need to. We'll have to talk to Daryl again to get you some company down there. If he's closer than we are.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's awesome. I love the stuff you've told us tonight, and the pictures you showed has been incredible, man. We so much appreciate that.
Oh,
yes,
I appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
You had some amazing stories.
Well,
I'm kind of jealous of you, to be honest with you.
Well, if you come down here and go with me, well, you'll see the stuff I get into.
I would definitely enjoy that. That's for sure. Like I said, we ain't got enough sense to run away from them. So,
yeah.
When somebody tells us that don't go that way, we're like, yes, that's the way we're going.
Yeah, I don't know if we're not that bright or we ain't got no sense or what, but we don't stay away. That's why you put a bunch of old hillbillies together. So,
right. But you don't show any fear, you're good to go. You know.
Yep.
You got your mindset right and no fear. You got to look at aspect too. These are somewhat wild animals. Predators, when you run, they will chase you. That's just instinct.
Yeah.
If you hold your ground and start talking out loud, they get curious about you. They don't want to attack you. They want to read you. They want to figure out what you're doing. After a while in the woods with them, they realize you're not going to hurt them. They're more curious about you than you are them.
I don't know if that's possible. I'm pretty curious. My name is George,
Yeah.
so Curious George kind of hooks up right there together. So
Yeah, and they're very intelligent. I think they're a lot smarter than us.
Oh,
I can
definitely.
agree with that.
Because to hide as many years as they've hidden, and no bodies have been recovered that we have been letting on. I'm sure there've been a few recovered, but we will never know it.
No, sir, we won't, and that's a shame. It truly is. It's all because of money.
Yeah.
Because if the general public realizes that these things are alive and that they're in the woods, then they're going to start losing money on forestry, or they're going to lose money on people vacationing and everything else. And it's just a cascade effect then.
Yeah.
And two, I call it like I see it. I don't sugarcoat anything.
Exactly.
We've seen how ignorant people got during COVID. And, if the whole truth and everything got turned loose at 8 o'clock in the morning on national television, you would see extreme mass hysteria, and the general public, I'm just going to come right out and say it, is not smart enough to handle the truth.
Well, that's a lot of the problem. Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of the problem.
Yeah,
they've got tunnel vision. They got it set one way, and they're not going to accept any other way.
Well, it's because we've all been fed, this little version of history, and this is what we've always been taught. And once you've seen these things, everything expands out.
Right.
And most people don't get that. They don't get the ability to realize, everything's not black and white. The Indians wasn't all good. The white guys wasn't all bad. And there's other things out there that you don't see all the time. And you got a creature that can stand beside you in the woods, and you'll never know he's there if he don't want you to.
Exactly. That's the reason why I carry high-powered binoculars. I don't care if it ain't but 5 foot thick. That's the only vision I can get is 5 feet. I want to see an eyeball or something. I want to make sure, I don't go in looking for them. They managed to find me, but they observe us. They pay attention to a lot of things we do, and they know your intentions.
Oh yeah, They read. What was that Robin said the other day? They kind of read your aura.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry just cloned himself.
Sorry, guys. My phone was dying, and I had to switch over to my laptop.
I got you covered, brother.
Such a show that it drained the battery on my cell phone, and I had to swap over to my backup.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've kept him now for about 1 hour and 48 minutes. I think we might let him have a break. We'd love to bring you back, Bruce. We really would.
Oh, anytime,
buddy. You're more than welcome.
All righty, I appreciate it.
I need to send you a friend request because I ain't got you on my friend list.
All right, yeah, send me one.
I've got it on mine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to let Rob do our finishing up over here then.
All right.
Nice meeting y'all, fellas.
It has been truly an honor.
Yeah. Keep the.
Where can people find you if they need to get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through Facebook Messenger or Bruce Brown 12525 @gmail.com. That's a pretty good ways to get me. Since we're closing out, I'll give you my little speech, and we'll go from there since we had all the ice and snow.
All right.
Keep the little one in your britches and the big one between the ditches.
There you go.
That's pretty good. Did you say you're hooked up with Daryl Denton and all of them?
Yeah.
Son, that's great. We love them boys to death too.
Oh, they're a
Yeah,
good
we do.
bunch. Yep. Yep. Really good bunch.
Our red-headed stepchild up there in the upper A-man corner, working when people find you at.
You can find me at Tim Dills 13 at TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, XYZ, BR549. And also, since he ain't here, I'll throw Brian Sawyer's out there. You look him up at Bigfoot Foots of with an S after the Foots of Michigan and the Bigfoots of America.com. Since he's sick and can't be with us, we'll shout out for him.
Oh yeah,
What's wrong with Boom Boom? Has he got the stemper?
I reckon.
I think he's
I
got
hope
the
he
Ziffy Doodles.
I was going to say, if he's got parvo, we might have to take him to the vet.
Yeah.
I think he confused his fixings.
I'll tell you what happened. That new Bojangles come in, and he ordered coleslaw with his biscuits and gravy again. Is what happened to him.
He's eating himself into a coma.
Yeah. Oh,
I got a
Spider-Man,
question.
where aren't you at? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Is that the right Bruce Brown?
I can't really see. Has it got a law enforcement car and me standing beside it?
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be me.
Okay. All right.
Well, besides right here on the NCI show twice a week, you can find my channel. I got a channel on YouTube, Rebels Dark Tales of Appalachia, and then on TikTok, J.R. Millwood. Find me on Facebook at Jerry Millwood.
And when people's not running around on Amazon.com looking for George Lunsford's books, where can we find the notorious George Lunsford?
Well, I'm at most of your social media stuff because I'm there selling my books and stuff. Or you can find me at my store, Lunsford Gifts and Things. Or you can go to author George Lunsford.x10host.com and you can find me there, or running through the woods, or at the store getting something to eat or something. Just anywhere.
Well, if anybody's looking for me, you can find me on TikTok at NCI North Carolina Investigates, or you can go to Facebook and look for me there. I'm not even going to fool my Instagram much anymore. I ain't been on there so long. I forgot how to get back into it, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it hanging in the wind until my Alzheimer's gets better. I can remember my dang password to get back into the stupid thing. But you can find me probably Walmart, Waffle House, about anywhere. I'm not hard to find. Usually over at the barn, playing with the baby goats and the first one thing and the other. But you can find me and Jerry on Saturday nights at about 8 p.m. This is about probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours before they turn the lights out on us. You can find me and Jerry on Saturday nights down at the local nervous hospital. That's meatloaf night. Just make sure that you bring some extra ketchup and everything will be all right. Well,
See, I go on Nacho Sundays.
Well, they tried that. It didn't work out too daggum good. Instead of somebody bringing the nacho cheese, some idiot brought guacamole and put it on the chips. That mess is what killed Elvis. Anyways, with that, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll hopefully see you here Thursday night, and we'll let our brother Vince take us out of here. Good night. Bicycle.
Sickle.
Hit the button.
Magic.
The darn thing didn't want to do nothing.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years. And grizzled ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.